What are the tag questions? They are questions that we use to confirm something that we think or believe that is true. For example, if I say, you are a good student, aren't you? I want you to confirm that what I am thinking is true, okay? Another example of a tag question can be, she can sing. Can she? Okay, she can sing. Can she? Another question can be, she always walks in the park, doesn't she? You always do your homework, don't you? So I am expecting you to confirm what I am saying, right? That's when we use the tag questions. I'm going to explain in more detail this grammar point. Okay, so in these sentences, we can find tag questions. You don't have an exam tomorrow, do you? The Shining is that classic horror film with Jack Nicholson, isn't it? I have to see it, haven't I? You like him, don't you? It's not too obvious, is it? You haven't said anything to him, have you? You'll come tonight, won't you? Okay, so we are expecting the other person to confirm what we are thinking, okay, or what we have in mind. Okay, and it says here that the tag questions are the short questions that we put at the end of sentences. For example, let me get back to here. Do you is a tag question in here. You don't have an exam tomorrow. Do you? And this is another tag question. The Shining is that classic horror film with Jack Nicholson, isn't it? Okay, so those parts, the end of the questions is what we call tag questions, okay, in these type of questions, of course. And then it says, we use them to ask for confirmation on something that we think is true. They can mean, is that right? Or do you agree? And for positive statements, we use negative tags. And for negative statements, we use positive tags, okay? I'm going to show you the examples again. This part of the sentence that comes before the comma, it's negative. Why? Because we have the word not. You don't have an exam tomorrow, do you? This part is negative, and the other one is positive. Do you? We don't have the word not in here, so that's how we can know that this part is affirmative or positive. And in this one, we start positive and we finish negative. The Shining is that classic horror film with Jack Nicholson. We don't have the word not. So that part of the question is positive. But then we finish the question with a not. So this part is negative, isn't it? Okay, remember that isn't is a contraction of is and not. Okay. And in here, we started positive and we finished negative. I have to see it, haven't I? The same happens in here. You like him, don't you? Positive, negative. So that's what I want you to understand because that's important when we are trying to learn these tag questions. Okay, now, in sentences that are in present simple, while talking about the verb to be, we say questions like, I am Mexican, aren't I? She is Mexican, isn't she? So if the first part of the question starts in present, we have to finish in present, okay? Here we have other examples, but these examples don't contain the verb to be, they have another verb. So with the rest of the verbs, speak, write, run, etc., other verbs that are not the verb to be, we have to say it like this. I speak English, don't I? She speaks English, doesn't she? The first part of the question is in present, so we have to finish in present too. Then we have the present continuous. I am speaking English. I am speaking English, aren't I? She is speaking, isn't she? And then the present perfect. I have spoken English, haven't I? She has spoken English, hasn't she? The present perfect continuous. Remember that the present perfect continuous is when we have the word been and the next verb with ing. I have been speaking English, haven't I? The verb be in past is was or were, okay? I was Mexican, wasn't I? You were Mexican, weren't you? And with other verbs in past, we only put did in the tag question. I spoke English, didn't I? She spoke English, didn't she? In the past continuous, she is was or were, and then the main verb ending in ing. I was speaking English, wasn't I? They were speaking English, weren't they? Then the past perfect. I had spoken English, hadn't I? She had spoken English, hadn't she? And the future simple. I will speak English, won't I? And the present modals. Remember that we saw different types of modals in class? Modals of ability, modals of obligation, and I don't remember the other, but we saw 3 different types. So this is how we finish the tag question. I must speak English, mustn't I? I have to speak English, haven't I? I should speak English, shouldn't I? I can speak English, can't I? I had to speak English, hadn't I? I could speak English, couldn't I? So the tag questions are when we expect the another person to confirm what we say. They also exist in Spanish. It's, for example, when we ask, ¿tú eres buena estudiante o no? It's the same in English, okay? That's how we use the tag questions in English. I didn't read this because it's basically the same, but in these examples, we started negative and finished positive. I'm not Mexican, am I? He isn't Mexican, is he? I don't speak English, do I? He doesn't speak English, doesn't he? I'm not speaking English, am I? She isn't speaking, is she? So it's the same, right?